hubhobby.com, and welcome to our first edition of Getting Started web video series. Today we're getting started in RC cars. You're going to learn everything there is to know about purchasing your first RC car. So let's get started. What is an RC vehicle? Well, RC stands for remote or radio control, and you control the vehicle by the remote. You may have seen remote control cars at a big box retailer, and although these are nice, they usually are made of one component, and once you break them, they're done. Well, the main difference in hobby grade is you have different components all around the car that you can replace, you can upgrade the parts, and usually you have higher speeds and better performance, and also overall quality is much better. So let's take a look at these different components. So what I have here is a basic electric RC vehicle. Now, we'll talk about nitro and gasoline a little bit later in this video, but for ease of getting started and ability to learn the basics of an RC car, Hub Hobby recommends an electric. So let's start with the antenna here. Now this picks up the radio signal from the remote or transmitter and then goes into the receiver. Now this is a basic AM receiver. There's an FM receiver and 2.4 receiver as well. AM and FM are going to have a little bit of interference, whether it be from a tower or even a different radio controlled car. 2.4 is going to give you no interference, which is going to be the smoothest out of the three, and is the latest technology. So with this is a 2-channel setup, which you have the first channel and component, which is the steering, and then you have the throttle component and the second channel, which is for the throttle. So with this you have the ESC, or electronic speed control. That takes the power from the battery, this connector here, which is a basic 6-cell 7.2 volt battery, which we carry, and goes to the motor. These are the wires that go to the motor, and this is a basic brushed motor. It's been around for a long time. Now there is brushless motors which have been out pretty recently, and they're more powerful, more efficient, which will make this car a lot faster. But we'll talk about that in a different segment. Next, we'll go to the transmission and drivetrain. That's going to spin and control the differential and the wheels here, which bring me to the next part, the wheels. There's different types of compounds and rims that you can buy for your vehicle and upgrade later. So let's talk about the second component, which is the steering. Now this is controlled by this little servo in here. Now that's a little motor that steers the car. You can see here, back and forth. And these are different steering components. Those will be a little bit different from car to car. Now you have the springs and the shocks in the suspension component. Now those will be good for this vehicle because it's an off-road vehicle. And there's different components as far as on-road and the different types of spring setups. So next you're going to have the body here. This is a Lexan body. It's very flexible. And it's very durable. Now you can customize this and make them different than anybody else's by painting or different stickers, and there's also a variety of different types of vehicles, bodies to choose from. So from there, let's talk about the different types of RC cars. First off, you have the 136 scale micro RC car, which is electric, similar to what we talked about earlier. Then you have 1/16 scale and 1/18 scale. This is a brushless vehicle here. Then you have the 110 scale that we talked about earlier with a brushed motor. Now typically the smaller scales are going to be primarily electric, but 110 scale is right when you're going to start seeing some of the nitro motors. Now this is a 1/8 scale vehicle. This is a big monster truck. Now this has a big nitro motor. Difference is that you have the nitro fuel tank here. You also have another servo. We talked about it earlier. This one controls the throttle and the braking systems on this vehicle. So what's cool about this, obviously it's big, it's impressive, makes lots of noise, you can smell the nitro. That's pretty cool. But the coolest of the bunch is going to be your 1/5 scale. It's big, it's massive, it sounds just like your weed trimmer at home, because it is. It's the same type of motor, runs on gasoline, really cool, obviously on the high end, very durable parts, bigger, more massive. So You can see the different types of RC vehicles, the different sizes. There's a lot to choose from. But come in and see our experts and we'll tell you all about them. So, in overview, we've talked about what's an RC car, the toy grade versus hobby grade. We've talked about the components, different types and sizes. And we also want to let you know that there's different vehicles made for different types of surfaces and terrains. There's rock crawling, which are great for crawling up very slowly on different types of very rocky terrain. There's also on-road vehicles, which work great for asphalt and carpeted surfaces. There's also RC tanks, rally, drifting, and various different types of cars. But you can come and check all those vehicles out and get all the details at our 2 locations at Little Canada and Richfield, as well as checking us out at hubhobby.com. So this is Brandon with Hub Hobby, and we'll talk to you and see you in our next videos.